2021 was an important year for Quake. Not only was this its 25th anniversary, but the game saw an impressive re-release that has welcomed an entirely new audience on PCs and consoles. The modding community created hundreds of new maps, and the quality and quantity of mods has exploded this year. Quake is simply not slowing down. So here's a peek at just a handful of projects we can look forward to in the new year, including an exclusive first look at Dwell Episode 2. I'm Dump Truck DS. Welcome to this preview of 2022. Before we begin, I usually don't ask people to like or subscribe or smash anything, but I would ask on this occasion that you share this video, especially the people that are new to Quake or coming back to Quake because of the re-release. There's a lot of new content coming, and I just would love to get the word out. So Happy New Year, everyone. Enjoy the preview. First, let's talk about standalone maps. Wedo is creating McKinney Revengeance, a single-player map based on the Quake 2 Capture the Flag map, McKinney Revival. That map, of course, was based on the original 3-wave CTF classic McKinney base. Wedo created a custom script to create a faithful Quake 1 conversion from the Quake 2 original. As you can see, there's a lot more work to do, but Wedo wants this version to look like it's been abandoned for 20 years. The inspiration for the theme is Lunaran's derelict start map Trapped in the Past from Underdark Overbright. It's always a challenge to port a multiplayer map to single player, so this will be a fascinating project for aspiring mappers to study. So far, there's no release date, just sometime in 2022. Next up is a huge new standalone map from Ionous using the Copper mod. Ionous has a massive body of work, including his stunning maps in Arcane Dimensions, Lava Tomb, The Mire, and his collaboration on the epic Leptis Magna. But the vast majority of his maps are from community packs and other large-scale projects. This new one is only his third standalone release. It's due out in 2022, but Ionous has to complete some other maps first, including his work on the Tremor pack, which we'll cover later in this video. Expect a lot of super secrets and tricky combat on this one. Along with his obsession with perfectly executed circular designs, be ready for a challenge. This map has nearly 700 monsters on hard skill. I profiled Zothique's first ever map, the Purifier, last summer, and it looks like he's hard at work on another stunning creation using Arcane Dimensions as a base. This time, it's an ancient abstract temple with a gigantic scale and a touch of industrial elements inspired by the id original wind tunnels and Metal Slime's Antediluvian. According to Zothique, it's taking a while because it's really huge and he's trying to match the high level of detail found in Arcane Dimensions. Judging by his first map, I think we're in for something special when this is completed. Our next map is from Henry. This one is also for the Copper mod, and it's a single-player remix of the Quake Live map Delirium by BST. This one will support single-player, co-op, and deathmatch. Henry has made some fantastic maps for Dwell and community projects like the Coppertone Summer Jam, so with this, expect another great single-player remix of a multiplayer map. And speaking of multiplayer, Foogs has released a beta version of their new Quake World map, Chute. According to Foogs, textures are subject to change, lighting is temporary, and the map size will be optimized for in-game downloads before the final release. One thing to note is that there's no lightning gun ammo on the map, so there's much more of a focus on LG accuracy. If you want to check this one out, there's a link to Beta 1 in the doobly-doo. Next, BPS has created new winter-themed versions of Quake World's Big Five for the Frozen 5, a one-day tournament held on December 12th. The Big Five refers to the most popular maps used in competitive Quake World events. You can grab these icy new versions of DM2, DM4, DM6, Aerowalk, and ZTN DM3 from the link below. Let's move on from maps to entire episodes. Some of these are team efforts and others are solo projects. First up is Waning Madness from Squeezit. This should have between 5 to 7 maps, including one secret level. The pack will have a pure id1 vanilla vibe with an original soundtrack by the author. That's available now on Bandcamp if you're looking for some dark ambient soundscapes while you wait. keep an eye out for Waning Madness sometime later this year. Next up is the Absolution from Zigi. This is a Doom 64 themed episode that will have up to 7 maps. Zigi says this project is an homage to Doom 64 with some familiar areas and a lot of new ones. He's really trying to capture the feeling of the original game using all the original environmental sound design, the distinctive colored lighting, and music from the original soundtrack. Ziggy's work on SME 1 and 2 and his solo releases like A Verdant Dawn are always spectacular, so the Absolution is high on my must-play list for 2022. Another episode to watch out for is the Fathomless Reach from Markie. This will feature 7 mainline maps, 1 secret level, and a start map, in addition to a new original soundtrack by Markie himself. Here's a taste. Quality gameplay is always a priority in Markie's maps, so he's taking great care to balance this for the Quake re-release, as well as the Copper mod and Arcane Dimensions Chaos mode. Markie is also creating new textures that complement the id Software originals. The few sample maps Markie sent for this video make me want to turn the lights down low, light some candles, and play some Barry White, because these babies are sexy. Next up is Tremor, a giant 32-level extravaganza announced on the 25th anniversary of the game. I don't have any new material to show you aside from what we've seen in the original trailer, but according to One True Purple, it will be authentic to the original lo-fi Win Quake experience straight from 1996. But it's coming to life with modern tools and gameplay from an all-star team of mappers. And it features a brand new soundtrack from Alekswithak. I love pure retro-style maps. In fact, I honestly don't think there are enough of these created. It seems like everyone loves the higher level of detail that's evolved over the past 25 years. But if you're nostalgic for the old days, Tremor is going to deliver that true old-school experience. It's very common to see 32-level projects from the Doom community, so I hope Tremor is the beginning of a new trend for Quake. This brings us to an exclusive first look at Dwell Episode 2, and I have some good news. You're not going to have to wait too long to play this one. Episode 2 is a waterlogged Hexen-style affair with new maps from Mista Haida, the author of the excellent Blood-Colored Rust, and Ball, whose Tears of a False God is one of the most beautiful Quake maps ever made. The always in-demand Alekswithak is providing new music for this project as well. Also, Episode 1 of Dwell is getting an overhaul and will be included alongside the new episode. Both have their own custom bosses, and Episode 1 will have a brand new ending. Moving on to Quake engines. Judging by recent posts on Funk Message Board and a stroll through repos on GitHub, 2022 should see significant new developments in source ports. I have 2 to highlight in this video, but there are likely dozens more lurking out there. In the meantime, let's take a look at the most recent public release of the Retroquad engine. ManCrypt describes his engine as the most advanced real-time 8-bit color software renderer on Earth. Retroquad is being written in pure C with no processor-specific instructions. It will be highly portable to nearly any OS or device. The most current release is 0.10.0, and development is now being funded on Patreon. If you're using Retroquad for Quake itself, there are a bunch of great customization options and the best third-person camera system I've ever seen in a Quake engine. ManCrypt says in 2022, a number of advancements will be implemented to make Retroquad faster and better suited to creating original indie games. He's been working on Retroquad for years now, and there's so much more I can't cover in this video, so take a look at the links in the doobly-doo for a much more detailed look at Retroquad's features and technology. Next up is QSS-M, which is a competitive multiplayer fork of Quake Spasm Spiked. For years, Crack has been the de facto standard for net Quake deathmatch and capture the flag. According to project lead Woods, this fork aims to add features from Crack and more modern engines to the Quake Spasm Spiked codebase. Expect to see features from Crack, ProQuake, and Mark V all on top of Quake Spasm Spike's superior networking code. Things like auto demo recording, a smoother chase cam, and many other quality of life improvements for competitive play. The project is already in testing, and Woods says the end goal is to have an in-Quake style package so players can get started quickly with one download. There should be a release on the GitHub page fairly soon, and QSS-M should get better and better as 2022 rolls on. Shifting gears to mods now. Here are two that are already available but will have content updates in the new year. Calton's QPQ Advanced Logic mod has had some significant updates in 2021, and next year there will be even more. According to Calton, QPQ is designed to empower map authors with much more in-depth triggering logic than currently available, expanding the possibilities of complex encounters and dynamic map experiences. So for example, you can make a Metroidvania-style experience where certain weapons or artifacts are required to open specific parts of a map, create complex puzzles with visual feedback for the player, or dynamically change the position of doors and platforms based on any number of requirements like health, items carried, or player position. Calton has been updating tutorials and documentation for the mod, and it's really impressive already. There are links below to walkthrough videos that go into much more detail, so check those out. Expect updates to QPQ in 2022, along with a community jam that will encourage map makers to push the boundaries of game logic in Quake. And finally, on the 21st, January Jump Jam 2 will be unleashed. If you've ever dreamt of double or triple jumping through Quake's Dark Dimensions TF2 Scout style, this is the mod for you. In late 2019, JCR released a mini map pack called Triune Discovery, along with a refined version of his Jump Boot mod, adding a jumping power-up to the game. A few weeks later, the January Jump Jam was born, and the community came up with some great gameplay over 10 maps. JCR's original pack was based on Rubicon 2, so it's fitting that the second pack has the same lineage. This jam is built on the brand new Alkaline dev kit version 1.1. Alkaline itself is based on the classic Rubicon 2 mod, albeit with a massive amount of new monsters and powerful modding features, including smoother animations on the axe and nail gun, damage skins, and dozens of new scripting capabilities. On January 21st, 2022, Jump Jam will bring Quake to greater new heights. Well, if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging in there, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful holiday and a happy new year.